Hello everybody, you know what this is, your favorite living legend, Jay Mack for the Fassst Lane. Hello, now, today we're going to talk about the dreams I've had from 2019, from spring. Now, it took me 2 weeks to realize that it is so chaotic that I didn't record my dreams properly, because I was never going to do a YouTube channel on this. I was never going to reveal it, B. And C, once I was done rebuking it, I moved on. So I did a horrible job recording my dreams. So the dreams go from the 21st of March until April 6th. I missed out a lot. Now, I could bet my life that I had another dream book. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 dream books, and I'm sure I'm missing one. Well, anyway, it's been over 2 weeks. I'm trying to find the dream book, unorganize this stuff. It is not organized for the first 6 months, as it was chaos. All hell was breaking loose once I went on that fast April 5th. Now, how it came about, from March 21st until April 5th, a weekend to, by the 28th of March, every, let's say 10 recommendations for Minister Ewing came up on my feed. 5 is on fasting. And I'm like, I'm not into no fasting, because I was never taught about fasting, and thank God. Please, before you go on the fast, after you consult with your physician, listen to all of Minister Ewing's lessons on fasting. Because if I got on the fast ignorantly, my life would have been ruined. Because once you go on the fast and you break the hold the beast has on you, the beast is coming back with a vengeance. And you're going to be overrun with even more problems. And I'm glad I did not go on a fast when the pastors told me to do it. I would have made my life worse. If that is possible, Lord have mercy. Well, anyway, we're going on the first dream, which was April 6th of 2019. Alright. And the purpose of my dream was for financial freedom and breakthrough, and economic relief and breakthrough. You have to give your fast a purpose. That was my purpose. Now, when I went on this fast, I'd watch. When I had this dream, I remember Minister Ewing had a lesson. I was going to say a sermon. A lesson on refusing to eat in your dream, rebuking eating in your dream. And I'm like, how am I going to do this if I'm asleep? But something told me, just listen to the big man and do as you're told. And there's an old, but I would say also, excuse me, a golden nugget I got from a book called The Giant by Eric Lasbedo. That's an awesome book. And in it, a student was telling his master, only the humble can learn. And this is why you educate human beings while they're children, because they're more willing to listen and learn. And that came to mind, and I said, all right, I'll do like the man says. I don't know how I can do it, but I'll do it. And like Confucius says, decide what is to be done, how it takes care of itself. And that came to mind. So I said, all right, if I'm offered food in the dream, I will not eat it. I guess what the first dream was. Food. Someone had offered me food. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I jumped up on my sleep. I said, oh my God, I was able to refuse the dream. I made the food in the dream. Anyway, I went back to sleep. Now I found myself in the grocery store. And while shopping, excuse me, I don't know how I got in the back of the grocery store, but there was some guy, and he offered me some wolfberries or goji berry. But he said, hey, you want some wolfberries? And they're good for your health. And I had just bought goji berries. I just bought goji berry tea. And when I went to take it, I said, oh, no, no, no. I told him I have. And I walked out back into the food store. Then I rebuked that dream. And I got up and rebuked that dream. And I went back to sleep. Now, I don't know if I was in the same food store or not, but I was in the grocery store. This woman came up to me, like, I think she was a server. Like, you go to the store and they offer you food. But instead of samples, she offered me like a smorgasbord on a plate about 2 feet long and about 8 inches wide, just filled with food. And I told her, no, thank you. And I left, and then I woke up again. And I was saying, it is a good thing I listen to my mind and decide, to do what the big man says. But that was my first dream when I began my fast. Now, I have a bunch of dreams here. I didn't even record the times I did it. It happens. But I remember this dream clearly. Yes. I came home. It was at night. I can't remember. I don't even have it recorded when I had it. But anyway. And also, I was on a fast also. I was at a party, and it was nighttime, and I pulled up to my house. It was huge. About probably 4,000 square feet. And there was a party at my house. And I'm like, what in the name of God is going on in my house? Who is having a party? Who are all these people? And how did they get access? Anyway, I walk into my house, and a young man came up to me, and he offered me something to drink. But I didn't refuse or nothing. I just walked past him because I don't drink, period. So that was the wrong thing for the beast to try in the dream. Now, I walked around my house trying to find out who in here opened my house up to allow all these people in here and have the nerve to have a party in my house, making all this noise at night in a quiet neighborhood. Anyway, so I walk around and around my house, and I end up, I won't call it the basement, but let's call it the basement. And there was this guy sitting at a table, and he asked me to have a seat. And I'm like, this dude get a nerve to tell me have a seat in my house? So I sat down and asked him, what do you want? But I couldn't see his face. He was sitting back, and there was $30,000 on the table. 20,000 was wrapped up in the banknote because I was able to read it 10,000 on each one, and the other one, the banknote was taken off and the money was spread on the table. Now he told me all of that is yours. So I told him, bro, A, I don't know you, and B, $30,000 is no money to me. And see, you in my house, all y'all get to go. And then I woke up and I rebuked that dream. Okay, now this other dream, this had to have been a different day. Because I remember this, I dreamt this before I went to work. Plus, I went to a house that looked exactly like the one I dreamt. Now, I was in this huge house on top of a hill overlooking a golf course. And I was driving a brand new fire red Toyota Camry. I'm no fan of Toyota, but I am now. As of 2018. My wife and I, we went on a road trip, and we rented a Toyota Camry. I'm in love. Well, anyway, there was a child, probably the owner of the house, playing basketball. I was swimming. And the basketball fell over there and landed on a faucet and broke it. And water came out. And I went to call the plumber and woke up. Yeah. Now, when I went to work to fix someone's car at their house, they lived, I might as well call it a castle. on top of a hill overlooking a golf course. Now, there was no red camera in the parking lot. Now, the bathroom is a ways away from the work area, so I went, used the bathroom, washed my hand. When I came outside, this basketball fell right in front of me and I caught it. Now, it turned out to be one of the owner's children, and she was playing basketball, and I think it was her and two other children, and they were shooting the basketball wrong, and they showed them how to shoot it correctly. Now, on the way back to work, it dawned on me, hey, this is the exact same dream. Now, I don't know if that was a good dream or not, like Minister Ewan says. If start the dream off by asking God if it is of Him, and if it is, thank Him. If not, you renounce it. I did both. I thank God for it, and I renounced it just in case. But it was amazing how I dreamed that, and I went to the exact same house in real life as I had in the dream. If it is, well, hey, I'm all for that. Thank you. That's my prayer. I said a prayer. I didn't really mean you. Oh. This is another dream I had. I remember this clearly because I had to pay on my car insurance because my insurance is up in April. I have to get my car license in April. So this is probably the end of April. Anyway, there was this goofy looking guy walking up to me. Like, he looks like one of those African masks that you wear when you dance, when they dance with, that they make out of wood, with raffia or straw for hair and all of that. Well, anyway, this guy came up to me while I was walking, and he's asking me for money. So I ignored him, and he kept coming behind me. So I turned around, and I went back the direction I was coming, and he came behind me again. Then he told me, give me your money. So I said, I answered him, what? So he walked up close, because he was like behind me, but more or less inside of me. I could see him, but he wasn't right beside me, but a little behind me. So he walked up close and go ahead of me, and he said, I could just shoot you in your face and take it. So I said, all right. And he put his hand in his pocket. But I saw nothing was in it, but I didn't take a chance. What I did was walk away. And as I walked off, he walked behind me, and I ran. Now, the reason why I did that was to set. The reason why I did that was to set him up, because there was like a bushy area between houses, because I didn't want to fight him in the street for no one to see me beating him. So I ran, and then I ran into the bushy area, and he came behind me, and I stopped sudden, and I threw my elbow back. I hit him right in his chest. And I beat him up, and I break both of his arms. And I think he had a weapon on him. That's why I break both of his arms. Now, oh yeah, what had happened was, I forgot this because I wrote it down late, because I just remembered it in the dream. Now I remember it now. While I was walking, say I was walking east, there was this guy like a quarter mile away pointing at me. That's when, what is he pointing at? And that's when the guy showed up to ask me for money. So I walked back down, and then we stopped, and I asked him what he wants. And I said, all right, I can lead this sucker right into the trap through these bushes, and I can beat the living daylights out of him, which I did. Now, once the guy who was a quarter mile away saw me and the guy run inside there, and I came back out, and his friend didn't come, he got in this car and drove off. Of course, I get up and I rebuke there, and I thank the Lord. I was the one to do the beating in the dream. Now, when I went to pay my car insurance, I had to, for years, I parked a quarter of a mile away and walked to pay it. So while I was walking, there's this guy got up and he saw me. He pointed at me, and then his friend got up and looked at me, and the two of them looked at me. And I said to myself, "Oh Lord, y'all two can catch it today. One of y'all going to the hospital for sure. If I can catch the second one, I'm breaking both of his arms." But anyway, they didn't bother me going into the insurance company or coming out. And to make sure they don't sneak up on me, I walk behind them and then across from them. Because I want them to be close to me if they try something rather than for me to be far away. If something's going to happen, it was going to be on my terms. Well, anyway, that's one set of dreams. I like to keep the videos short, so it's like 50 minutes in, so I can be right back.